Hello all, 4-Player Squad Gaming here, and this is our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series. The Sacred Isle of the Vanu is a level 60 optional duty which is featured during the quest Reap What You Sow. The quest giver is Canu Vanu in the Sea of Clouds. We welcome you to Neverreap. It is also worth mentioning that at the time of recording this video, 20 Tomestones of Poetics are awarded upon completion. So without further ado, let's get into the guide. We are immediately greeted by one of the Vanu. Speak to Canu Vanu to receive 5 Thunder Eggs. We can use these Thunder Eggs in the Cloud Altars to create either currents. Jump in the current to proceed to the next isle. Gather up the adds here and clear them to energize the Cloud Altar, allowing us to place another Thunder Egg. Being mindful of a frontal cone AoE from the Wamora, which also poisons anyone hit. Once the adds have been cleared, ride the next ether current to the next isle and continue. On this next isle, we have mini tornadoes that follow a set path. Make sure to dodge these to avoid being knocked up into the air. There is a safe spot near the treasure coffer ahead, which you can use to kill the enemies without fear of the tornadoes. Keep making your way up the hill and clear the next set of adds at the top, again avoiding this tornado. The rock on the eastern edge seems to be a safe spot. Once clear, activate the Cloud Altar and proceed to the first boss fight. Nunyenunc is our first boss. Start this fight as normal with the tank gaining enmity and the party dealing damage as usual. Before long, the boss will conceal itself in the clouds and debuff the party with Dropsy, dealing water damage over time. The party needs to hunt out the boss's shadow in the clouds and kill it as quickly as possible to reduce the damage taken. Dropsy will keep stacking until the shadow has been killed. We also need to avoid the circular AoEs from Feather Squall. Nunyenunc's feather adds will also appear periodically throughout the fight. Kill these quickly to avoid excess burst damage and stacking vulnerability debuffs. Once the shadow has been killed, the mist will disappear, removing Dropsy, and the boss will become visible again. These mechanics will continue to rotate until the boss is down. Pick up your loot, activate the Cloud Altar, and continue ahead. In the new area, the Trees That Sway, we will be greeted by some new add types. Kill the Spellcaster Vundus first and kill the Totems after to unlock the gate. The casters have a circular AoE to watch out for, and there's also a treasure coffer here, so keep your eyes peeled. Head through the newly opened gate and pick up the Trian and Vesper adds. Make sure to prioritise the Vespers. These, along with most B-type enemies, have the ability Final Sting, killing most players hit by it. Avoid both the frontal and point blank AoE from the Trian and try to avoid attracting the patrolling Vespers down the edge. Clear the Vundu and the totems ahead to unlock the gate. Proceed into boss fight number 2. The second boss is Canu Vanu. Start this fight as normal, dealing damage and tanking away from the party. Almost immediately, get ready to avoid the hard-hitting frontal cone from Vanu Stride. The boss will target a random party member with Morrow Cloud, inflicting a heavy bleed debuff on this player. This can and needs to be cleansed as soon as possible. The main mechanic of this fight is the Sacred Totem and Totem Chant combo. The first round will mark 2 players and place a Vanu totem on their position. Directly after, Canu will start Totem Chant. The party needs to pick up the totem and place them outside of the chant area. Failure to do this will animate the totem and make the boss immune to all damage until it is killed. These mechanics rotate for the rest of the fight, with more totems being summoned each time Sacred Totem is cast. It is recommended to spread out as much as possible when more players are marked, increasing the chance that some of the totems will be outside the totem chant area to begin with, meaning less totems to remove from the area. The tank should also help in removing totems if there are too many in the chant circle. It's not only the Vanu that can do too. Keep up the damage and the fight will soon be over. Pick up your loot and proceed through the caves. Activate the Cloud Altar ahead and create a path across the river. Prioritise the Divine Wasps to avoid Final Sting, and ensure you don't stand within the water pillars. This will debuff the party member with Dropsy, dealing damage over time. The path ahead is blocked, kill this set of adds and avoid the frontal cone, again prioritising the Divine Wasp. Once the route is clear, head onto the dry land and kill the 2 Darmels ahead. Head back onto the stone path and clear the final set of adds blocking your way. Once through, proceed ahead and enjoy the short cutscene. Waukkeon is our final boss. Start this fight as normal, dealing damage and tanking away from the party. Soon after, the boss will mark a random party member with an orange crosshair and a Divine Mist add will spawn on that position. Simply kill it as quickly as possible. Once down, the boss will summon 3 Divine Gale adds and the boss will become invulnerable to damage. During this phase, the party need to kill the Divine Gales and avoid the boss, who will be patrolling around the arena dealing damage to any who come into contact with it. Once you have killed all the Gales, Waukkeon shield drops and it will start to cast a room-wide AoE turbine. This is a knockback that can knock players off the platform to their death. We need to position ourselves in such a way to avoid being knocked off. Stand on the side of Waukkeon to be pushed back into the greatest area of the arena. You can also use abilities such as Arm's Length and Shortcast to negate this knockback. It is worth mentioning that if you are knocked off the platform, you cannot be resurrected during this fight, making the fight harder for the rest of the party. After the first phase is over, small tornadoes will spawn on the arena and patrol across the area, knocking anyone up hit by them. The aforementioned mechanics repeat with the Divine Mist, Gales and Turbine with the added difficulty of the tornadoes. Deal with these mechanics as before until the boss is down. And there you have it, Neverreap is complete. Remember to commemorate the player you believe deserves it most and pick up your loot. We give this trial a difficulty rating 2 out of 5 swords. There is nothing too tricky encountered here with self-explanatory boss mechanics. The special loot for this trial includes Valerian Weaponry eye level 160, Valerian Equipment and Jewellery eye level 160, the Ugly Duckling Minion and the Waukkeon card. Remember to like, comment and if you haven't already, click to subscribe. Up next is the Fractal Continuum. We are 4 Player Squad Gaming, thanks for watching.